PBS Bridging the Child Care Gap series, four-stage series that they're doing in our area. And it's just literally about the things that are happening new in our childhood care works arena and how we're going to literally make the differences and be the leader in childcare in the state of Missouri. So it's a four-part series, about 15-minute long. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's really discussing different aspects of childcare, the need in Missouri, and how we're working to make the differences with a wonderful program entitled Childcare Works under the supervision of Kids Win and Casey. So I apologize. I kind of get all these names mixed up. So I thank you for the opportunity to share that. There will be a digital series that's about 15 minutes long that's running now, and then they're going to put all the series together on PBS. So they've been out asking the questions, trying to figure out how we're going to make differences. So ultimately, what the special is about, and I'm going to be quiet in just a second, is that we are doing some innovative things in childcare. We are really literally trying to make corporate America, state assistance, and parents collaborate so that we're capable of making childcare more affordable. And at this collaboration, we can have about 75% of the cost of parents reduced. And so childcare becomes a space and a place where we're working together to collaborate as well as making it affordable for parents and offering high quality services to children. So that's the move we're moving toward, and that's some great news that we're working on.
Present that. I see Brooke smiling a lot with 9 PBS. That is really great. Oh, Brenda had a great question in the chat from Mary. And Marcia, you had your hand up at one point. Do you have something that you'd like to share?
Well, first, I want to say hi to Dr. Crockett. I think I was at a meeting she was at, which was a great meeting. I enjoyed myself. And then I wanted to ask Miss Kelly, or if there is anyone on here from United for Children that may be able to direct message me about the training on Saturday. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I'm excited about that training. I signed up for it, but I didn't get a confirmation. So I just want to make sure that I'm signed up before I go up there and like bust in on them.
So, yes, that would be me.
Oh,
I will check on that. If you want, you can put it in, do a direct chat here, and I'll pick it up and I will send it on to our team. And hopefully we'll have an answer before this meeting is over.
Oh, you're muted, Marcia.
should I just type my name in the chat and that's all you need?
Yep,
I mean,
Yeah,
my
that's all
name
I
to
need.
you. My
That's
name
all
to
I need.
you. Okay. All
Either
right.
way,
Thanks.
either
Okay.
way works for me, whatever works best for you.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
would anybody else, before we go into this great presentation that Mary kind of queued us up for about childcare works, anybody else like to come off mute and just share a bright spot of something that's going on in childhood and in your organization? I know
Lisa,
one-on-one, you guys. Yes,
Lisa, we do have some in the chat. So
I
Casey,
know.
so Casey Handsome Kids Win, and I have to tell you, Casey, I am actually at the Empower Missouri conference. You have folks here. They have been fabulous and terrific. So FYI. So she's talking about her team and how they've been around the state. I will tell you, I have seen them around the state myself at various meetings. So if you don't know them, please get to know them. Um, it says YBHL program is continuing to outreach, and as a result, we are seeing increasing referrals, which that's good to know. I just had someone ask about that this week, so now I know who to go to. Sarah Kennedy is here, and Sarah's always busy with things. So she says a bunch of new educational offerings for middle and high school curriculum, 12 credit standalone certificates, online CDA prep, online bachelor, child development, social media videos. Brenda Butler with Greater St. Louis Wolf Trap and Springboard to Learning says that they are facilitating arts integration professional development opportunities. We have the first episode of PBS, so be looking out for our notes. We will put that in there. MHB has things going on. They have open funding opportunities. So we do have a lot of busy folks
This
doing wonderful things. Thank you.
that could only happen with everyone, as we know. So thank you all. We will be sharing all of these out with all of you, with the whole group. With that, I introduce Ms. Casey Hansen with Kids Win Missouri. And Dr. Mary Crockett, you don't look like Tamika Perrine, but you are Tamika Perrine right now with the Gateway Early Childhood Alliance. And I will proceed you can proceed with your presentation about Missouri Child Care Works and just say next slide. And hopefully I'll figure out how to forward to the next slide.
Awesome. Oh, I feel like we're missing a slide, maybe, but that's okay.
That's possible.
It's all right.
Oops,
All right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Casey Hansen with Kids Win Missouri, and here today to talk about Child Care Works. I will make sure that we get the correct slides to you all when it's time, but just to give kind of an overview of what Child Care Works is. Child Care Works is a cost sharing program to help make childcare more affordable to families while also providing benefits to employers and to providers and to the community by ensuring that there's available and affordable childcare in different communities. So it's a model that is aiming to leverage state funding to match with local investments and families' contributions as well to hopefully expand more affordable, high quality child care to families throughout Missouri. Child Care Works. We were able this past legislative session to secure $2.5 million from the state to support communities in implementing Child Care Works locally and providing funds that they can use to match with employer funds or local community funds to offer childcare to parents at a much more affordable rate. The system is going to be run through a statewide platform that's led by Tutris is the vendor and Child Care Aware of Missouri. And it kind of creates this one-stop shop for families, providers, and employers to be able to enroll in the program, complete their required agreements, and access tools and resources to take a lot of the administrative burden out of the program. It's also going to be a centralized system for determining eligibility, managing payments, and funds so that while they can take in the state funds, the parents' funds, and any employer funds, then they push all of that out via one payment to providers. So it's really nice in that it'll hopefully help streamline the cost share. And then it's also going to be, able to track a lot of the data that, so that we can track participation and monitor the impact of the program. And hopefully be able to look at that as we grow it. I wish you guys could see the slides because this one especially has a graph. Is there one with a graph?
I am so sorry.
No, it's okay because I'm looking at them and I'm speaking them, but I feel bad that so I just want to talk about
They didn't format correctly.
okay.
I knew I was going to screw that up.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry, everybody. So let's talk about the Child Care Works platform can actually be used.
Casey, a question. Would you want to share your slides?
Yeah, it's just when I was trying to test it out on my iPad before, it wasn't working.
Oh, wait, what is going on here? Wait a second. I'm sorry. I'm such a
Okay.
Um, I don't even know what this thing says. You guys know me, how crazy I am when it comes to, it says your screen sharing is paused.
Yeah.
That must be, I'm looking at slides. Kelly, can you see the slides?
I think you need to go down like in the Zoom controls where it says share and maybe try to share again.
My name is Brenda, and I can see one slide that says, how does Childcare Works benefit providers?
Yeah, I can see that as well.
Okay.
I think it just maybe didn't paste incorrectly.
I think it didn't.
It's okay. I wish, I'm sorry, y'all. Um,
Kelly, would you like to share the slides since you received them also, Kelly Hantak?
okay, I'm going to keep going so that we can, I know that you have a tight schedule, but I'll make sure that everyone has the PowerPoint afterwards, and I
Yeah,
apologize.
you know what? Yeah, no, I know. Wait, we can do this. We can do this.
Alrighty.
Um, we can do this.
I love your commitment, Lisa.
Um, this is really important work, everyone. So I really want everyone to see this. Okay, does that work?
Oh, we're getting so much closer. Okay. So I'm on the slide 4. Just go down to slide 4. And then, yes, thank you.
And then there we
Slide
go.
2. Yeah. Yay. All right,
Yay!
Lisa. Nevertheless, she
Well done,
persisted.
well done.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let's talk about the part of the program that leverages state investment. So um, this slide language is kind of geared towards employers because there are some big employer benefits from this. So part of the cost share, obviously there's the state pool of money, but in order to draw that down, you need a match from either an employer or it could also be a community source of funding. So that could be philanthropy, that could be if there was a local fund created of some sort. But ideally, it's an employer, and the employer is contributing a third of the cost of their employees' childcare. And then based on that employee's income, the state can contribute up to 40% for those on the lower scale of eligibility and less for those on the higher scale of eligibility. And then the parent contributes the rest. What the chart on the screen is showing you on the far left, without state cost sharing, a parent is paying $15,000, right? With the state cost sharing, you can see in the middle, the employer pays $5,200 for an infant slot. The state will give then $6,200, and then the parent is paying about $3,500 then for their child care. Additionally, we worked to get some additional benefits for employers passed through the federal employer provided child care tax credit. So through HR 1, which is sometimes referred to also as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, that legislation included some changes to the employer provided child care credit that increased the amount of credit that employers can access. So now small businesses can access a 50% federal tax credit and large businesses can access a 40% tax credit for their contribution. So that chart piece on the far right kind of shows the employer in the end on this one, they're technically contributing that 5,200, but they're going to get 2,600 of it back in a federal tax credit. And then you can see the portions that the parent and the state pay. So it's really all about sharing that cost and burden of childcare across the state employers, and in this sense, the federal government with the tax credit, and making the cost ultimately a lot less for the family too. Next slide, please. So just to talk about a few of the benefits for employers, obviously in the St. Louis community and every community throughout the state, they're looking for ways to invest in the workforce, grow the workforce. support businesses in attracting and retaining workforce. We know that childcare causes a lot of stress for families, and it also causes real losses to businesses and the community in terms of tax revenue. And so having access to a program like this and to childcare as a benefit can really help with improving retention and recruitment, as well as productivity, helping to attract talent, and really being an investment in the talent pipeline for organizations. And there are also, on the next slide, a lot of benefits for providers, childcare providers as well. We talk a lot on these calls about the childcare crisis, and part of that is childcare providers struggle with guaranteed and predictable revenue. So the idea that Childcare Works is kind of helping create more consistent payment from and streamlining some of those payment sources for the provider. Also working with employers and community members can help them with more consistent enrollment and smoother operations as well. And then we're also in some of our communities, and this isn't mentioned on the slide, but using this as kind of a funnel in to help communities also manage like what is supply and demand for childcare in their community, and having the data in such a way that it can really help them as they're thinking about things like supply building and other activities within their community to continue growing the childcare supply as well. Um, Childcare Works, I think in the beginning, we were often talking about it only for that state match portion. Um, in the past couple weeks, we are really also, because the state amount of money that's allotted is honestly almost already spent by our initial communities and initial investment, we're also talking about it as a system that can be used for that buy share as well. And what I mean by that is when the state money has run out, there are still employers that are going to want to offer childcare as a benefit for their employees, especially with what I just mentioned with the enhanced federal tax credits being available to employers. So the Child Care Work system, even once the state money is fully tapped, can also be used by employers to access that child care tax credit for any money that they're already putting towards their employees' child care, or that they want to add as a benefit for their employees. So that is nice in the sense of how that streamlines the burden for them. And then it also helps providers in helping their families be able to access those things through their employers as well. Next slide, Lisa.
Oops.
Just something to point out to this group, there is that other local contributions piece that can make up the employer piece. And so I think for community leaders to be thinking about, could the area unlock more state dollars in the future through things like philanthropic funding? There's, campaigns to think about generating local revenue or dedicated revenue for ECE. With the way the statute is written, that is something that can take the place of the employer contribution. So it's definitely at the higher leadership levels, something to be thinking about as the community, just to continue to think of how we might grow this program a little bit. And then in each community, we have a lead organization, and that's the role in St. Louis City and County that Gateway Early Childhood Alliance plays. So I'll turn the next piece over to Mary just to talk a little bit about their role and how you can connect with Gateway too if you're an employer or provider.
Good morning again. I'm standing in the stead of Tamika Perrine, and I'm just going to share a little bit about Child Care Works and how we at Gateway Alliance, we have been chosen as the community lead organization and how it really works for us. So what it looks like is that primarily we are in charge in our area to really, really contact employers, to work with providers, as well as working with potential parents who are interested in the program. So we maximize that with Child Care Works funding, and we work through fostering more employer participation and really looking for philanthropic dollars that are available in the community. Next slide for me. So, and thank you, slide lady. You're awesome. When leveraging childcare works to grow it in the future, what we're doing is we're looking literally at the employees and how these people can participate to help their employees and literally cut the cost of service and really increase the opportunity to have more productivity at work. So we're increasing the local investments by literally potentially and unlocking greater state matches. More families can participate and more business in the local economy can become stronger. And just as Casey was saying, regardless to if the state contributions run out or not, employers really get a chance to have tax breaks. They really get a chance to have beneficial opportunities at the workspace because their employees are better in place to feel comfortable, to be at ease, to know that their children are where they are and that they can afford to be a little better at home financially and loosen some of the stress that happens at home when we literally cannot financially take care of all the things we need to when it comes to child care. Next slide. I believe child care works really is a great solution. I know it's a lot of work. I know we need to look at other funding available, tax monies that are out there, opportunities to get philanthropic dollars to really work together with the employers and employers to get a part of what we're working. It is a big task, but it's something we can do. And if you have more questions, you always can reach out to Tamika Perrine or Mary Crockett Smith and or Casey with Kids Win.
I have a quick question. So, if I'm talking to an employer who wants to participate in childcare works, say in the St. Louis region, who do I then connect them with?
Gateway Alliance.
Tamika.
Tamika. Okay. And so is that the same across the whole state as well? Whoever is the not Tamika, but whoever is the Tamika elsewhere is
Yes.
who I send people to.
The best thing to do, honestly, is actually to go to childcareworksmo.org and we can make
And
sure
go
you have
through
that
there.
link
Okay.
and go through there because to your point, especially for the TriShare dollars, that does go through a community lead organization. If a community doesn't have that, there's another way that that's being
Okay.
handled. And like for people that still want to access the buy share, even without the state dollars. Yeah, so that's the best way to do it. I'll drop that in the chat now.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
This is so fantastic. And I hopefully you didn't answer this question, but if we run out of Missouri child care dollars, can the employer match 40% and then the family does 60%? Is that how that works?
Yeah, the state dollars are the only piece that are restricted in terms of what the percentages have to be. So if an
Oh,
employer wants to
oh,
do a buy share, even if that employer is like each employee gets $200, like it can be whatever amount of assistance that they want to offer, but going through the system, they can help them kind of work through some of that. And then I know we have some things around like DCAP policies, which kind of relates to the employee being able to not have that benefit impact their taxes in the same way. So there's a lot of layers to this, but yeah, for the buy share piece and accessing the tax credit, there's not a defined amount that the employer has to necessarily put toward it.
Hey,
That's
Casey, I was just going to ask too, do you see this in the future moving forward going to be staying with those families that just are above that subsidy, don't qualify for the subsidy? It's going to be for that range of parents?
So right now, Childcare Works is open to parents that make between 151% of federal poverty, which is above the subsidy threshold, all the way up to parents that make 555% of federal poverty. So there's a vast range. I would say at this point in time, we're not necessarily restricting at the state level beyond that eligibility threshold. But I could definitely see going forward in the future, especially communities that are applying for that money. Communities do have discretion if a community applied for the grant from us and then said, we want to restrict it down a little bit more, they could probably do that, as well as kind of going forward. But especially being in the pilot stage, I think we're also trying to kind of prove that it works, and not really restrict in any more ways, like who can participate, just so that we can have people participate and see that it works, and hopefully then continue scaling it up. So.
Super exciting. Absolutely super exciting. Before we move on, does anybody have any other questions? And if you can't find Casey's email oh, go ahead, Marcia.
And you probably answered this, but I just want to get some clarification. So I'm a parent. I want to see if I can qualify for this, and my employer is not bought into it yet. So who would I call to see how to access the other funds that could help me if my employer is not going to help me, or it hasn't decided yet? I won't say not going to, but I need to work, so I'm trying to get it right now.
Good question.
Yeah, so that's kind of done at like a community by community level. So it gets a little bit complicated, but like where it's at now, generally speaking, the community organization is recruiting providers and employers to participate. And then from there, the employers are offering that to their employees. I think our hope would be that we have materials for parents to give to their employers to like recruit them in. And then at the community level, we don't yet have any communities that are putting the funds in to sub for if there's not an employer. But I assume in the future, like if St. Louis had a pot of money that was like, this is for people to access that don't have an employer match, then Gateway would probably put something out to have parents apply through the platform. We don't have any that are doing that as of yet, but I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that it'll happen sooner than later.
Wonderful.
Do you have a list of, do you have any employers that are participating yet? And where would someone find that list? Because if you're looking for a job, then that's where I would go to look for a job.
Yeah. Mary?
We have some answers. We have some things in the works. We have not got it finalized yet because at this point there's limited seating. And so we do have participation and we cannot give any names until it is finalized. But we have some things in the works.
That's nice. That's awesome.
I
Go
will
ahead,
just
Kate.
say, I'm sorry, and I know we've taken up too much time. There are like so many layers to it because of that aspect of like, even if you like, there's lots of employers that are interested in this, but then like you get them interested and then they have to go to their board and figure out the budget. And then a lot of them, they're like, we only have this much money to pay for our employees. So they're also internally trying to figure out like, which employees do we offer this to? Like, is it our lower paid employees or our employees that have like a specialized kind of job? So it is frustrating. We're trying to get it out there, but yeah, it's kind of a process at all levels, but we're hoping soon to also have a lot more money to put behind employer education and recruitment so that we can get more of them to take advantage of it. So.
And just a clarifying question, Casey and Mary. If you work for a nonprofit organization, that's not considered a business, correct? And they cannot match. And also school districts, public school districts, can they be a business that provides that shares?
They could be a business like eventually that leverage the state dollars, but they aren't going to get the tax credits because they don't have a federal tax obligation. So like, when on that one chart where like the middle one, it shows this is the employer's contribution and then it goes down on the other one because they got the tax credit. You wouldn't get that additional tax credit piece, but you could still leverage the state dollars if they were available.
Excellent.
So you should still explore participating if you're a nonprofit.
Absolutely. So, and I
And
know
we
we have
are
a
in
lot
the
of people.
beginning stages. It's gonna more information is soon to come. Every single day it's growing. So it's a wonderful, innovative way to look at childcare and make it affordable for our Missouri families. It really is.
I actually say it's about time. So yes, absolutely. All righty. We need your help. Does anybody else? I shouldn't have done this. Does anybody else have questions for Mary or Casey? And if you don't have their email addresses, you can email me and I will share them out. I haven't asked that permission from them, but I know them. Um, so we have an annual survey that we like to do for the childhood community leaders, to get your input and what we're doing okay with. And I can see that you can see the notes down there. See, I'm just so, um, uh, there we go. Um, maybe that's a little bigger. Um, and and we want you to be honest, and we also want your input on how else we can support you, whether you're at a school district, parents as teachers, First Steps, Kids Win Missouri, Riverview Gardens School District. How else can we support? I'm going to give everyone till a quarter after. And if you have any questions while doing this survey, please just come off mute and ask me or Kelly.
Lisa, can you
Yeah.
put the link for that in the chat? Oh,
Oh.
thank you, Kelly.
I think it might have been the wrong link. It's like the
Uh-oh.
editing version.
Oh,
Okay,
Casey.
hold on.
See, I need an assistant. Are you looking at the QR code or are you looking at the link?
The one Kelly dropped.
So I pulled the link from the survey, because in the slide it has just a link. I'll take care of it. Give me
Ugh. All right. Sorry, guys. Kelly, if you can't find it, I can take it off the PowerPoint.
That's what we're going to have to do. The one I have takes me back to the same one. So if you can do that, Lisa, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Hey, you may guys try, I don't know, see if the one I just dropped in maybe works. I don't know. I just took the QR code and that link and sent it to my email. Is that one working, Casey?
Thank you, Kimberly.
Well, let's see if it works.
And I'm going to put mine in there.
Sorry, I couldn't get off mute. It is the one that came, the last one. Yeah, it worked.
Kimberly's and oh, Kimberly, thank you.
No problem. I'm just glad it worked. It was iffy.
And if you guys, if the QR code is not working and you're working on that, please come off mute and tell us. About 2 more minutes, and then we're going to share some exciting stuff coming up. Okay, thank you guys so much. And if you hadn't had a chance to finish, please do. But we want to get on to some very exciting upcoming information and get more of your input about our next upcoming meetings. So I have the pleasure of introducing Gary Lauder with United for Children. And he is going to, Gary, would you like to share, I can stop share and you can share your screen? Or would you like to talk about it?
Sure, I can do a little bit of both here. Give me one sec.
Okay. And I made you a co-host. Well, now I'm not feeling so bad. While Gary, oh, there we go.
Okay, can you guys see everything?
Yes.
Excellent. So thank you for the introduction there, Lisa. And thank you guys all for being here. I promise I'll be quick here. But what I'm really excited to show these with you guys. These are some really great resources that I think are going to fit right into the work a lot of you all are doing and are going to be really helpful for a lot of the folks in your community. So United for Children has partnered with Children's Trust Fund. If you don't know CTF, they are the leading organization in Missouri dedicated to preventing child abuse. And we have teamed with them as part of their Something We Agree On campaign, right? We might not all agree on politics. We might not all agree on sports teams, right? We've got some Kansas City folks in our office. I definitely don't agree with them on sports. But something we can all agree on is that we want our children to grow up safely and healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially, right? So that is the Something We Can Agree On campaign. And United for Children has partnered with CTF to produce some consumer education packets specifically dedicated to alternatives and preventing corporal punishment, and then also promoting a guide for educators on recognizing and preventing childhood sexual abuse. So these are really great packets here. Let me go to my next slide here. these are really awesome packets, and there are specific audiences for each of them. We'll send you guys the PDFs here in the wrap-up email after this meeting. But the Guide to Positive Discipline Methods and Alternatives to Corporal Punishment is specifically for parents. And that is a guide that goes into the negative effects of spanking and physical punishment, and also offers parents some alternatives to those kinds of punishment that emphasize promoting positive behavior and discouraging negative behavior. Because at the end of the day, that's what punishment is about for most parents. But it also details punishments and the benefits of punishments that emphasize a social emotional approach, right? Because it's about learning. It's about learning what behavior is sort of acceptable and what is nice to our friends. So that is really the focus of that guide. The second of them is an educator's guide to recognizing and preventing childhood sexual abuse, and this is a different guide that is for educators specifically, and really dives into ways in which they can help prevent child abuse, specifically for children in their care. And that is by being able to recognize signs that child is being abused at home, or ways in which they can change their child care center to avoid anything that could be, misconstrued as child sexual abuse. These kinds of sort of state mandated roles that we have as mandated reporters goes into all that. And these packets are all reviewed and approved by U4C and CTF. They contain leading research and resources from primarily government resources. They're approved, and they are available for download for free at unitedforchildren.org/resource and referral. And we will have the PDFs, like I said, of those packets ready for y'all in the email that follows up this meeting. The packets themselves are a little big, but we have formatted them to where if you just print out the first page of the packet, it has a QR code to where the rest of it can be downloaded online to save you guys some ink, right? Is there any questions or anything I can sort of answer or clarify about these packets? We're excited for you guys to dive into them and begin sharing with your folks.
Is it okay that we share this electronically?
That's my preference, y'all. I want to save you guys some ink. This is supposed to make your guys' lives easier, right? I'm not, and the way we designed it is just something, just another resource we can sort of have in your back pocket when you're doing these resource fairs, or you're showing different resources for parents, or if you're sharing them with folks in your community. Yeah, we would appreciate you sharing them any way you can, including digitally.
Gary, if you don't mind, can you put that unitedforchildren.org link in the chat? And
Absolutely.
then all of you receive the newsletter after our monthly meetings, and so it'll be included in that.
I will say the packets are already loaded in the St. Louis regional folder in the Google Doc, but then they're in the upcoming notes that you'll receive via email next week.
Gary, I have a quick question. Is there any information or packets for parents whose children are nonverbal, not necessarily having issues with discipline, but just communication? And these children, I have some children on my caseload that are nonverbal, that are getting assistance through therapy and all of that, but that doesn't help the parent at home. So I wanted to kind of know if there's anything out there to share with a parent on how to work with their child at home that's nonverbal.
Yeah, thank you for that. I believe there is a section in these packets that deals specifically with children who have are differently abled. I don't know if there's one specifically for those who are nonverbal, but I believe that all of the methods within this packet are can be useful in the way that they're about switching up parental behaviors primarily. And that is what sort of influences the way the child behaves, right? If a child is not sharing or something along those lines. And a parent deserves, they need a spanking. Well, the child hasn't learned much in that case, right? So this packet goes into ways that are around being more of learning based punishments, so that the child is not being sort of physically touched and is also less likely to do those problematic behaviors again, just because they've learned, oh, that makes sense. It's about the sort of social emotional learning aspect of it. That doesn't maybe that's something we need to take into account for a future packet, is specifically children who do have difficulty communicating like that. That's valuable feedback. Thank you.
Anybody else? We have about 5 minutes left, and I would like Kelly, do you want to take over the next 2 slides?
Sure, happy to do so. So our next meeting, December 17th, excuse me, we will have a presentation on the new recommended screening tools with Beth Lothan, who is at the Office of Childhood. And just for those of you who are new, we have heard different grumblings about screening tools, what's recommended, there was possible changes, then maybe not. So Beth is going to come and she's going to set the record straight for all of us. So I'm really excited to hear that information. And then
It's on a Saturday. Am I looking at that wrong?
Did I type that in wrong?
December 17th?
It's on a Saturday.
Oh, that is the wrong.
No, this year's December 17th is a Wednesday. Yes.
Yes, it is correct.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, never mind. I'm looking at January.
It's okay. It is okay. Okay. So in the chat, you can also give us a little insight, a little piece of insight into what you would like to have us talk about in the future meetings. So we had asked you last month, what would you like to learn about? And we received these pieces: behavior supports in the classroom, the Infant and Early Childhood Mental Health Consultants, St. Louis County Children's Service Fund, excuse me, and the St. Louis Mental Health Board, what other opportunities are available, and then other. So all of these are pretty general topics. We have scheduled in January, the Infant Early Childhood Mental Health Consultants will be speaking with us. They have asked, hey, what information would you like us to specifically share? And Lisa and I went, we don't know. Let's ask. So we are asking everyone here if there is something in particular on any of these topics. You have a question, you would like more information. Once again, you may have heard something, you want to make sure it's true. Please put it in the chat, and then we will take it back to our future speakers and say, okay, here's something a little more specific to discuss with us, because we do not want to waste anyone's time. We want to make sure you're getting the information that you need.
All of this will share, because of time today, we'll share that in the newsletter too, so you can respond to these questions, more information that you need. I'm going to end so that we're on time here. So you will receive a monthly e-newsletter via Constant Contact from me by the end of the week. It'll have the notes, it'll have the video, and it will have links to all what we discussed, including the survey. I hope everybody is following the St. Louis Childhood Community Leader Facebook page. Don't just follow, add. It's your page. Add what you are doing. We always like to heavily promote the Missouri Family Resources. For your organization, make sure that you are listed correctly in the Missouri Family Resources, and you can go ahead and edit it on your own. Dolly's still going on. Are all your families with children 5 and younger, are they signed up for Dolly? The book a month, free book a month. Make sure St. Louis is proud here in Missouri because we got our kids Dolly books. Upcoming meeting, third Wednesday of every month from 12:30 to 1:30 virtually. I will get those meeting dates out for 2026 soon. And our next meeting is December 17th. I want to say I wasn't sure when all of us to just take a minute of pause. I wanted us to start with bright spots, which so many of you have, but at the same time, we lost one of the most valuable people here in the St. Louis region for young children and families 2 weeks ago. It's hard for me to talk about it, but I would like to acknowledge that we lost Adrienne Pennington 2 weeks ago, and I know she's being taken care of, and we miss you. I miss her every day with Star, and so just a deep, silent breath. However, you can send peace and love to her family and to our early childhood community. Thank you, Adrienne. We love you. Right. Thank you all for coming. And you'll get a lot of information from me by the end of the week. And I think I'll see a bunch of you tomorrow. And some of you are coming to Turn the Pages big literacy forum tonight at Del Mar Divine. So love you too. Love you too. And thanks for help. One of these days I'll get the slideshow down.
It happens to the best
But
of
not
us.
too
It's
soon.
all good.
Not too soon. All righty. Thank you. And please take care of your family and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.